So a while ago, I made a video where I created some 4th stage evolutions for a few Pokemon, meaning evolutions for Pokemon that have 3rd stages that normally in the actual Pokemon games don't ever evolve again. I did this A, because it just sounded like a lot of fun, B, because 4th stage evolutions I feel like is something a lot of us have thought about the possibility of at some point in time, and it's even something that Game Freak themselves have been asked about in interviews. That video ended up being a blast to put together, so I am here to do it once again today, and I have given a few more Pokemon some 4th stage evolutions of their very own. So let's go ahead and check them out. Alright, so I am hyped to show you guys these evolutions, but the fact of the matter is, they wouldn't even exist without the support in part of today's amazing sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped has been a great supporter of the channel for a while now, and I personally use their products every day and love them. This month, Manscaped has got a special product they're offering, a special limited edition version of their Lawnmower 4.0 razor. Now, this razor is as legit as it gets, and it's easily the best all-purpose razor that I have ever owned personally, but this edition is extra special because it's being offered in partnership with the Testicular Cancer Society in honor of Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. One man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer, and Manscaped is helping in the fight by partnering with the Testicular Cancer Society to not only raise awareness, but also to directly support their cause with a $25,000 donation. So if you want to help bring awareness to an important cause and you're looking to up your razor game, you can pick up one of these limited edition Lawnmower 4.0s with the link in the description below. And when you use code HoopsVGM at checkout, you'll also get 20% off plus free shipping. And it even supports the channel as well when you do, so it's a win all the way around. Again, check that out with the link below, and a big thank you to Manscaped for supporting the channel. Alrighty, so the first Pokemon I am going to cover today is none other than the Clefairy family. Now you might be asking, why cover these Pokemon? They're nothing too special. Well, I actually have a few reasons. Number one, even though this is a 3-stage family of Pokemon, when they were given an additional member of their family, Clefairy in Generation 2, that was in the form of a pre-evolution since Clefairy is a baby Pokemon. So Clefairy, as a former 2nd stage Pokemon, definitely still has a lot of room to grow. Second, I did a 4th stage evolution for the Pikachu family in the first video, and Clefairy and Pikachu kind of have an interesting relationship with one another, since Clefairy was supposed to be the mascot of Pokemon originally instead of Pikachu, so I felt like if I did Pikachu, I might as well go ahead and do Clefairy as well. And when it came time to create a 4th stage evolution for the Clefairy family, I thought that it would be cool to make something that really honed in on these Pokemon's extraterrestrial origins, because it's well documented that these Pokemon are not of this world and are likely from or relate to the moon in some way. So I wanted to create an evolution that fully realized this spatial concept that these Pokemon have, and that is ultimately what resulted in the creation of Clefairy. Evolving from Clefairy, Clefairy has now gained the Psychic type in its 4th and final stage, with the Psychic type obviously connecting to all of the space-related elements of this Pokemon's design. And as you can see, we really did lean into all of the space-related elements that are going on with this family of Pokemon, as not only is the Pokemon now very round like a planet, but it also has a ring surrounding its body much like a planet, and even its hands are detached from its body and are round too, as if they are able to orbit the body as well. And all of this orbiting that is going on with this Pokemon is actually where the name of this Pokemon comes from, as it comes from Clef, just like Clefairy, Clefairy, and Clefable, and Orbit, and also Orb, since this is a round Pokemon. Before we get too far into this though, I need to give a huge shout out to the artist who I commissioned to draw the artwork for all of these designs, my good friend Alestiva076. He did yet another amazing job, and you should definitely check him out with the links in the description. I am honestly ecstatic with the way Clefairy's design turned out, because Clefable and Clefairy are Pokemon that I personally don't think are bad, but they don't really pique my interest too much. But the design of Clefairy, even if I am a little bit biased, definitely piques my interest, and this is something I would legitimately have on my team, whereas Clefable is a Pokemon that I wouldn't ever really consider at all. And I feel like the ability to add this kind of a value to a Pokemon family like this is another reason why it would be really cool to have a 4th stage evolution be introduced someday. I don't really necessarily think it's going to happen, but designs like Clefairy definitely show, in my opinion, why it would be amazing if it did. The next Pokemon I have decided to give the 4th stage evolution treatment to is Togekiss. Now, this one might seem like another interesting pick, but I have yet another very specific reason for why I chose to give an evolution to this Pokemon. And that is because the Togepi family, culminating with Togekiss, have a lot of very distinct similarities and connections with the Eon duo, Latios and Latias, and I think exploring these potential connections and how these Pokemon actually connect would be amazing to see, and creating an evolution of Togekiss that is sort of the bridge between these two groups of Pokemon, I personally think would be really cool. And so, with that said, I would like you guys to meet Togeleon. Togeleon, just like Clefairy before it, is also a Fairy Psychic type, coming from the Fairy type of its pre-evolution Togekiss, as well as the Psychic type of Latios and Latias, showing how this Pokemon is sort of a bridge between the two. In a lot of ways, Togeleon is kind of like a fusion of elements between the Togekiss family and Latios and Latias, as it's still got a lot of those Togekiss features, but it's starting to grow into a body that is more reminiscent of Latios and Latias, once again being the Pokemon that could truly explain what exactly is going on with the connection between these two Pokemon, that is clearly there, but is largely a mystery to us at this time. I honestly believe if Game Freak ever did decide to explore these Pokemon's dynamics more closely, it could result in a whole entire subplot and or quest of a game that could be really in-depth and really captivating. So I feel like the potential is truly there for something awesome, and I feel like something like Togeleon would be a great way to go about it. Now it is time to explain Togeleon's name though, and just like its design, its name is also basically just a combination of the Togekiss family names and Latios and Latias' names. We obviously have the Toge prefix that all of the Togekiss family have, and as for the back half of its name, it comes first from Eon, as in the Eon duo. It has an L in there to represent both Latios and Latias, and then it also comes from the root word of Latios and Latias' names, which is Latio, which is Latin for I conceal or I lie hidden. This is a phrase that not only explains Latios and Latias' behavior, but it could also definitely be applied to the behavior of the Togekiss family as well. So all things considered, I feel like this name does a good job of once again bridging the gap between these two groups of Pokemon and connecting them together, which is the entire theme of this Pokemon as a whole. And like I said, if something even remotely resembling Togeleon ever happened in the future to sort of shed some light and bring some spotlight to the presumed and apparent connection between these two Pokemon, would be absolutely fantastic. So here's hoping something like this does indeed happen in the future. Alright, so we have seen two pretty cool potential Pokemon evolutions in this video that, in my opinion, really show why 4th stage evolution Pokemon would be amazing to see in the actual Pokemon games. But I have saved the best for last, because this one really shows why this would be a really cool thing to have. The third Pokemon I decided to highlight in this video is Haxorus. And Haxorus is a Pokemon that definitely doesn't really need another evolution, but it's also one of those Pokemon that from a visual perspective is easily one of the coolest Pokemon out there. And even though it definitely does stand very well on its own, there is technically some room where it could grow, and that is in the form of its axe-based inspiration. Despite this entire family of Pokemon being heavily themed around axes, they don't ever gain the steel type and instead just remain pure dragon. So what if we had an evolution to Haxorus, a 4th stage evolution, that gained that steel type and became Dragon Steel? Well, if that actually happened for real, it could look something like this. Meet Firaxis, a hypothetical 4th stage evolution of Haxorus. Firaxis is a Dragon Steel type, and just like the other two designs I have featured in this video, the theme of Firaxis is simply to bring all of the themes and the design traits of this family of Pokemon full circle into one glorious climactic design, and I feel like Firaxis nails that perfectly because it turned out phenomenal and looks insanely cool. Once again, a big shout out goes to Alestiva for making Firaxis look so cool. Check him out once again with those links below. But yeah, that is essentially the concept with Firaxis, is to just go all in on that axe element of these Pokemon's designs, which were only partially there before, and just really make it the emphasis so this Pokemon can truly see the full potential of that element of its inspiration. And if the design itself didn't convince you as to why this should absolutely be a thing, then maybe the name will, because the name Firaxis is also a perfect combination, if I do say so myself, of everything that is going on with this Pokemon. Not only does the name Firaxis just sound pretty cool, at least in my opinion anyway, but it also comes from the term axe, which, like we said, is a central key point of this Pokemon's design and is also featured in the names of all of its other pre-evolutions, but additionally, it also comes from the term ferocious, because this is obviously a very ferocious looking Pokemon, and the word ferrous, which is defined as containing or consisting of iron, which this Pokemon obviously is, and is a key part of its design since it is the member of its family that gained that steel type. And honestly, I feel like that is a perfect combination of elements that describe what this Pokemon is all about, while also sounding really cool and fitting the very just awesome, cool, strong, ferocious looking nature of this Pokemon. And when everything comes together like that, I just feel like it's a sign that it should be an actual thing. So I'm just saying, Game Freak. With that said though, that is going to wrap up this round of 4th stage Pokemon evolutions, and now I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Do you like the concept and the idea in general? Do you like these designs? Which one is your favorite? Is it something that you think should actually happen in the real Pokemon games? Be sure to let me know all of those thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more videos just like this if you're new. I'm also going to be back with another new video as well very soon, so until then, as always, thank you guys so much for watching this one. I honestly really appreciate it, and until then, as always, I will smell you guys later.